just a victim of circumstance. Yeah, 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 yeah. Jagger wheeling the Rolling Stone. Yeah, 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 yeah. He and the devil know he's all alone. Ooh, yeah. Jagger lived in the wonder wide. Now he's learning the devil's style. Jagger playing a heavy game. Free from guilt and he's free from shame. Jagger suck in the source of life. Slashing the pig with a horny knife. Jagger merging the sexes now. Yeah. Just stand back and he'll show you how. Yeah. Jagger's organ will play the tune. Ooh, yeah. He will watch the heavens open soon. Jagger doing the devil dance. Just a victim of circumstance. Ooh.
right, all right. It's what is it? It's hump day. It's already Wednesday, man. Time flies, doesn't it? Doesn't time fly when you're having fun? Frank Tico's rapping now. Talking papas on a well-meaning Wednesday. Well-meaning. You know, a lot of people are well-meaning, but does that necessarily mean that what we're doing is good? That it's well? We're gonna talk about that. Frank Tico's rapping now. Talking papas live. Well-meaning Wednesday, hump day. Shout out to everyone. I got 9 people watching, so we're gonna start. That song we just heard, that's Eugene McDaniels. It's called Jagger the Dagger. It's a off an album that was very revolutionary. You know, just hey, just putting you up on game. You know, I'm sure some of you guys already know about him, but if you didn't, that's Eugene McDaniels. There's a he has a or he became very famous for his earlier hit, which was 1,000 pounds of clay or 100 pounds of clay, where he talks about like the creation. It's sort of like a lovey-dovey song from like the late '60s. So he became famous for that, and he was a songwriter for other artists. But that Headless Horseman album, apart from it having just a bunch of good beats on it, it's just the content matter. It's good content matter, revolutionary type music. That's right. Let's catch up right here. All right, Katie Frizzle, nice to see you. Oakland Everything said, saludos, listening from where? All right, that's cool. I know. And then you're going to be driving. So when you drive, please drive safe. I put up the link already. We're going to talk a little bit. What's up, Machete? Oakland Everything. Saludos, amiga. I'm done wilding out on that other channel. Okay. I don't know what channel you were on, bro. Fill me in. Let me know. Wow, bro, this music is a hell of a mix. Hey, what's up, No Dice Media? Hey, man, you know, I like a lot of jazz, a lot of funk jazz. You know, there's a lot of good experimental music around the '60s, '70s, late '50s even. Even there's a lot of experimental music like from the late '50s to like around the early '80s. After that, like once everything became digital and electronic, it just, I mean, not everything. I mean, you can still find good music, but once pop became mostly synths, and I think it kind of lost its music, lost its soul. But I like to go back to the funk. Hey, what's up, Christopher? Frank D. I send mine coming from a little side street in New Jersey. As always, hope all is well on the home front. Respects to all in the chat. Hit the like. We have 9 already. Hey, that's right. Hey, thank you so much, Chris. Shout out to you, bro. Please drive safely. Stay safe out there, man. God bless you, bro. And keep on trucking, bro. Keep on trucking. You know what I mean? Hey, what's up, E. Mateo? Nice to see you. Hey, we're kicking it. Got 15 people in the house. If you haven't hit the like, please do so. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. As I'm talking to you guys, I'm watching Lord of the Rings. I'm watching Lord of the Rings. I'm thinking about starting these lives a little earlier, maybe about an hour early. But you guys let me know. And I'm going to set up a poll for tomorrow. So I'm going to set up a poll. I'm going to put it on the community tab for tomorrow to see like what kind of music, like what genre of music you guys want to listen to. I always go for like soul, jazz, and all of that, funk, whatever, right? But sometimes we'll throw rock in there, whatever. But I might want to do it by genre sometimes. So I'll put up a poll. I'll put up 3 genres, and whichever one gets the most votes, that's what we're going to do tomorrow. That's right. Oakland Everything. Machete. What's up, Egyptian Lover? Frank the Tikanator and chat. Hey, what's up, man? Tika's in chat. Hangman Stranger, shout out to you, brother. We're chilling, brother. Hugo Torres. Saludos, Frank in chat. Hey, saludos. So, um, there's a very famous saying, like what's it called? Yeah, a very famous saying that goes, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. And I didn't get that for a long time, but I realized that it's true. I realized that it's true. The road to hell truly is paved a lot of times with good intentions. Like, people are well meaning. That's why today is well meaning Wednesday, right? But sometimes what's good for you is not exactly what's good for me. And we have a bad habit of human beings thinking, like judging based on our condition, that, okay, this person's going to be good if they do this. If they work at this, they're going to be good. And you may be right most of the time, but there's probably a lot of deeper discussion that has to be had to pinpoint what's really going on. We don't know what people are going through. I don't know what you've gone through in life. I don't know all of the decisions that you've made. Know what you consider wins, what you consider losses. If you even own up to the losses, if you've even learned from your experience, I don't know that. I don't know. So I can only give you my point of view. But it's exactly because we come from different walks of life and maybe we've experienced life differently that it's so important to network, that it's so important to understand the different points of view, because maybe I didn't, yes, maybe it's true. I haven't lived what you've gone through. And maybe that's necessarily the viewpoint that I need. And yeah, maybe you haven't lived through what I've gone through. Maybe I've lived worse or more comfortably than you. I don't know. But whatever the case, because my experience is unique, it might help you. I might see it a different way. I might consider it a different way. And it's because of that it would be a mistake for us to try to impose our points of views, try to impose our belief systems onto other people. Now, if someone decides to adopt them, if someone decides to start mimicking you and moving the way you do, well, that means that you've obviously set an example for these people. And if they get close and they want to talk a little more about it, maybe that's your opportunity to talk about your belief systems. But in the meantime, as long as you understand people and you seek understanding, that's really all you need to get along. That's really all you need to make this life livable. And we're going to get into that. Hey, what's up, Hangman? That's right, Ugo. That's right, Egypt. Hangman and Ugo. That's right, good old Frizz. Machete. Maybe dozen Skittles mean well, but they be moving all wrong. That's why everyone sees looking at themselves. Yeah, but I don't even think they mean well, bro. I mean, maybe for themselves, yeah, always for themselves, but then that wouldn't constitute being well meaning. Like, usually when you're well meaning, it's towards other people. Like, they're well meaning towards themselves and only themselves. And they get along because they see a lot of mutual interests that they can benefit from if they work together. But as far as if they can come up on each other, they'll come up on each other. Like, we're already starting to see them eat away at each other. It's gonna happen. If they keep going down this path, it's gonna happen. That's right, Hangman. Egyptian saludos. Hey, what's up, Facto 7G? What's good, Frank? Chilling, bro. Chilling. I see you getting your money, bro. Keep getting your money. I gotta start getting my money again too. Just stopping in to show respect. Out of jet, but we'll be in the background listening. All right, Hangman. Thanks so much, bro. Shout out to you. Hope and everything. Don't work too hard. Send mine. I hope all is well in your own life. Keep that mental strong, and girl, don't let no one get you down. That's right. That's right, Chris. Christopher, stay safe out there. Hey, Mags, what's up? Tikas in chat. Hey, shout out to you, Mags. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for being here. You guys know what's up. It's Frank Tikas, dropping knowledge, talking papas. On a well-meaning Wednesday. Now, people are well-meaning, and, we want to see good things happen to people, right? And sometimes we want to do it by force. Or other people want to impose the way they view things, because they're like, no, if you do it this way, you'll be happy. If you do this, you'll be happy. If you get married, if you have children, if you have this type of job, if you have this type of career, if you move to this city, if you vote this way, if you go to this church, if you speak this language, if you do or know how to do these things, then you'll be happy. But you don't know that. Maybe I don't want to complicate my life, you know? And that's reality. Now, some people don't really want to complicate themselves. Straight up. And maybe they're living in a way that we might benefit from, but if we don't believe it, if we don't accept it, if that's not what we would do, then we won't do it. And that is what's called respect. It's also called having an open mind, having a critical thought process, like to be able to distinguish all these different types of existences without discounting them, without looking down upon them, because my way, the way I live, the way I view things is very particular. And I don't want people to look down on me just because I have a different point of view or I have a different way of doing things, you know? Oh, I'll define hell. I'll get to that. I'll get to that. That's right, Facto. Define hell. Let me define hell for you in this sense. And I'm going to play a video. And I think that when you guys hear, like watch and hear the video, it's around 12 minutes, but I'm just going to play it through. I'm not going to stop it. I, I cross my fingers. I won't stop it. I'm going to do everything within my power not to stop it. Okay. But let me go ahead and define hell in this sense. Let me just catch up. Max, let's see. That's right. Mateo, Egyptian lover. That's right. Mateo, today is a pink selection, roses. Egyptian, Mateo, I hear you, Frank. Okay, okay, cool. Maybe you're hearing me now. If money comes in the way, I mean, even for 100, they will eat each other up. Yeah, pretty much, bro. Machete, that's right. Hugo Torres, Cubole, pinks, elections. Pink is my favorite color. Oh, that's good to know, Mateo. Christopher, that's right. Machete, send mine. That's right, Chris. Let's see. Machete. I'm sitting back and watching those things slowly destroying themselves, like the way Skittles sabotage themselves. Yeah, but that's what's good for them. Like you can't talk them out of that. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying when I talk about, like, everyone's existence is different. For them, the way they're living, the way they see the view or they view the world, the way they look at their whole get down, if they continue to approve it and in their mind they see nothing wrong with it, it doesn't matter how much or how often we put them on blast, they're going to keep doing it. No, something has to happen radically to, or something has to happen for them to change radically and decide to change course. Hopefully it'll happen, and in the meantime we'll continue putting them on blast. But I agree. KDF, you're good. I said mine. That's right. Mateo, I had an idea. Thought I'd change it up today. Okay, cool. Respect to all lovely ladies showing support to the channel. I send mine in full to the homies too. That's right. Thank you, Machete. Yeah, thank you guys so much for supporting. Please hit the like. I got 21 people watching. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. That's right, Machete. Let me catch up with these chats. I'm going to define hell, Mateo, in this context, because I think it's very important to also find out and to also be able to view where we are in life. Like, are we really happy? Like, are we really at peace? Or are we constantly in turmoil mentally, emotionally, even physically, economically? Because that might be a type of hell, right? I'm not talking about hell like fire and brimstone, end the world. No, I'm talking about the hell that you can experience here in life. And a lot of times it comes from listening to other people, like paying attention, respecting the status quo, because that's what society is. Society is a respect towards a status quo that's implemented by whatever powers, influential powers there are at the moment. And while you respect it and while you live under that, you're so called good. But look, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. Let me catch up. Let's see. What's good, Frank? Hey, what's up? Haha, yeah, that's right. Chilling, bros. Talking papas. Frank Tika's dropping on. Talking papas. On a well-meaning Wednesday, I drank all my coffee, man. I should have made more. I need coffee now. Let's see. Machete knows all the old lies those degenerates have. Machete remember the live Skittles with that degenerate Rojo where they double teamed the Transformer and they were laughing about it? Okay. That's crazy. Egyptian, yes. The bad things, all of them lies have. Yeah, exactly. That's the problem. Unless we were able to find some of those clips or someone has something on it or someone made a video on it. I mean, there's a lot of old content creators. Like, I've seen videos of content creators reacting to these fools like 2-3 years ago, and they don't make content anymore. So there's a lot, like, we would have to look for the old content creators, like people that were around back then, but they're no longer putting out videos. There's a lot of old stuff out there that I had not seen until I went to those channels. So that might be a way of finding stuff. Let's see, Egypt. Thank you. Very thoughtful. That's right. Machete. Yeah, facts. Y Mateo, my pleasure. Let's see, my brother Frank talking facts, not papas. That's right on me. They will change up when they go get a 9 to 5. I don't think they're ready for that, bro. I don't think they're ever gonna go get a 9 to 5. I think they realize that they're grifting, their manipulation tactics are not that bad. Like I'm like they can fool enough people for a while for them to get a bag and keep it moving. So, I mean, they could just move it outside of social media. They could just run scams differently. But anyways, Sooners, Frank, no disrespect to you, but fuck those other vatos. I said, get up, Chucky. Get Yeah, that's right, Sooners. Shout out to you, bro. Hey, shout out to Sooners. Go check out his channel, exposing the white yarda. We keep doing what we do, man. Shout out to you, bro. Yeah, fuck them fools, But what I want to see is this, and what I want to talk about is this. Regardless of what they're doing, no one can impose shit on them. Like, none of us is going to be able to break through unless their channels get taken down. Like that's like the furthest extent that can go. Like they decide to take their channels down because they can't take the heat because we're just hitting them hard. That's why I'm happy when I see that there's so many channels now. We got Taco Stain out there. No, I know Katie Frizzle. Mimi and Blue. Shout out to them. They're putting out content. Ghost puts out content. Runner's Pug is putting out content. Terps. So the more channels are out there just bombarding, the better it is. I mean, the more it's gonna be like it's gonna get harder for them to move around, like to maneuver in these spaces. Because we all have different audiences. And that's what I wanted to talk about. Like our differences are really what makes us strong. Like our lived differences, our experiences, the differences that we have, even in the way we think, even in the things that we don't agree on. That's what makes us strong. That's what makes the Exposed Tube revolution so strong. Shout out to ET. Shout out to ladies of Exposed Tube. Shout out to everybody out there, man, that's getting it. And I just want to take the time right now, like I always do, to just, think about all of you. We're going to continue praying for every single one of you. We got you in our prayers, man. And, for whatever it is, whether it's a health thing, whether it's a financial thing, a relationship, emotional type thing, man. Man, may God bless you and give you strength. No, and if you don't pray, but you can send energy, whatever you do, just, we do what we do. But we're here, man. That's what we're here for. If you guys want to have a conversation on the side, if you want to talk, we can do that too. But that's what we're here for. We support each other. We're all different, and that's what makes us strong. Sooners, classic, yeah, Sooners. That's right. That's right, Nightmare Frank. I love what I do. I feel so free. I have my solitude. Yeah, sometimes shit pops up. Gotta keep the yeah, exactly, bro. You gotta love what you do. See, and the fact that you do what you do, that makes you different, but that makes you unique. But having that mindset, having your opinion, makes us strong. You know. I remember this masked dude was going at Skittles back in the day, and Skittles, Rojo, and 209 busted dude's back window. Oh, okay. See, that's what we need to find because those channels have a lot of shit. Like, there's been so many channels that have put out stuff on these guys throughout the years, and I'm talking like 4 years back, like stuff that was on Skittles' old channel. Like, if we could find some of that, look, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't always have the time to scour the earth for that material, and because so much new stuff comes up, so I'm focusing on the newer stuff just so it shows that these fools continue doing what they do. But sometimes it's good to go back. Sometimes it's good to go back and pull something out to show. Look at this fool. Look what he was doing back in 2000, mid pandemic. This fool was getting his hustle on mid pandemic, straight up. Yeah, I hear you, but every well goes dry. Yes, they will have to change their. Yeah, probably, bro. It was started, Amino. Shout out to you, brother. Shout out to you. Thanks so much for stopping by. I've got 28 people watching. I'm going to play a video. And then we're going to continue talking about this because what I want you guys to realize is this. A lot of times we get criticized, or there are certain like attacks against us as a movement because, we supposedly we're contradictory because, sometimes we say this. No, we just move the way we move. But we continue to hold ourselves together through the same principles, right? We're going to uphold those principles till the wheels fall off. Frank Tica's dropping nice, talking papas live. Well meaning Wednesday. But what we have to remember is that we cannot impose our thoughts, our style onto other people. No, people operate differently. If you look at all of our channels, like Taco Scene has his own style, Terps has his own style, Sooners has his own style, Katie Frizzle has her own style. All of us have our own style. Ladies of Exposed Tube have their own style. ET has his own style. When we're on the collective, that's totally different than when we're on the battle boxes. So you've got different points of view all of the time, but it's those differences, those different influences that make us strong because we've been able to show ourselves as, first of all, as adults, as being open minded, and being able to get along despite those differences. What's good, Frankster in chat? Hey, what's up, Nightmare? Nice to see you. What's up, Carnal Ramiro? Let me see. Sooners. Mike's World called out Dubs and Gunners for using that guy Johnny to give him money, and Dubs started barking like a chihuahua. Yeah. And I started calling him Chihuahua Teeth lately. What's up, you Mateo? That's right. Sorry, Mags. Yeah, that's right. Got to call the firecracker. I mean, the missus. Okay, go ahead, bro. You got to do that. You got to do that. Hey, and that's your life. See, and that. Thank you so much for mentioning that. For you, that's a priority. Maybe for someone else, that may only be like on an off and on relationship with someone. Calling them is not a priority. We all have different ways of living. We all prioritize shit differently. That doesn't make one better than the other. It doesn't make one worse than the other. We're just living according to our existence, to our proposed and perceived reality. Because we propose our reality. We do propose that. Like we propose what we want our reality to be. We put it out there. No, that's our view of the world. Our view of the world is what we want to see. That's how we move. It's what we think works for us. And we got to respect that in everybody. Sad Studios put out a pic of Skittles with a lady boy. Yeah, okay. Well, see, I mean, yeah, that's the top. That's what I'm saying. I mean, I'm sure that there's a lot of old clips, old material that can be brought up. Rocket until the third cookie wheels fall. Yeah, that's right. I send my love and respect to everyone. That's right. Ramitos, OG Smalls. Shout out to you. What's up, Frankie and Familia? Hey, shout out to you, bro. We're getting it. Talking papas. Let me just get through these chats. Nightmare OG Smalls. Yeah, I got a firecracker too, Chris. I get it. Mine like walks around. Mine walks around. So, I got to be on. I'm like, nah, I'm. See, and that's what you guys have to understand. Like, I am who I am here, and I'm here at my house. My kids and my wife are walking around. They know me. Like, they're not surprised at this because this is who I am. Like, this is how I get down. That's right, Egyptian. Let's see. Lil, that's cute. The firecracker. Firecracker. We're probably going to end the live with that song. But, okay, so let me explain, Imateo, a circumstance under which we can say that good intentions or that the road to hell or a type of hell can be produced through good intentions. Okay, Mr. Egypt. All right, so let me give you an idea, and it may be something that we don't normally think about because maybe we don't have these issues, right? But I know of a couple that got married like a little late in the game. Like they went to school, they graduated from the university, they started their careers, they set up shop, became successful on their but as a married couple, they got the house, they got the business, they had everything before they decided to start having children. Okay, because that's like the goal, right? I mean, society kind of dictates in a way, like certain societies, the majority of societies dictate marriage, right? Man, woman. And if it's not man, woman, it's a problem. The child, if you can have boy and girl and the boy be the oldest, then oh, that's even better. I mean, society grades you on this shit. Oh, they have the pair, the boy and the girl, and they have a house, and they have a career. Oh, they're living the life. And well-intentioned family members will tell you that that's what you need to aspire to. You need to aspire to having, find the right person, not dying alone, having children, raising children, whatever it is. But then you can't always account for the physical aspect of it. Yeah, you're well meaning and the intentions of it are well. Let's see. I think that diabetes in the front. Yeah. 16 bulls, 14 cows in the house. That's right. Let's see. Fraulein Hernandez Machete. Hey, what's up, Fraulein? Nice to see you. So society, your family is going to tell you, they're going to kind of push you into getting married and starting a family. Well, this couple started a little late, and when they started trying to have children, she started having abortions. Like she was aborting the baby. She was not going to be able to have children unless religious. They are, because they're still around. That's right, Mr. Oxnard, Frank D, and his family. Hope is all as well. Hey, hope all is well on your side too. Everything's cool over here. Thank God, man. I'm chilling, bro. Spending time with you guys, dropping little bit of a message, little bit of knowledge. Let's see, saludos, ET family. That's right. Um, dang, yeah. So they started praying. They would do these prayer circles. They had like these special like services at church dedicated to that particular situation. And she ended up having two children, but both of those times she almost died. Like she like had like straight up complications. So she had complications on both of those births. Both of them were premature babies that needed like special care like for the first months of their life and would require like some sort of therapy for a while. And she almost died. And then it turns out that she gets pregnant a third time. What's up, Frank? How's it going? Chilling, bro. Chilling. Mr. Oxford, miscarriage is more appropriate. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, miscarriage. A miscarriage. Yeah, you're absolutely right. That's what I meant. She started miscarriaging. Um, and I appreciate that. I appreciate the correction. And it became a situation where it's like, you're gonna die. Like you're almost dying with every child that you have. Now you're going for a third. And so the doctors like, you should really think about, you know, sterilizing it, becoming like sterilizing it. You should really think about it, like both of you guys. And then that put them in a rock and a hard place because of their faith, because of their religion, because of their parents. Like, well, the husband's parents, they were very like, no, you got to have all the babies that God gives you, things like that. You know what I mean? Now that was them being well intentioned, like in their mind, telling them to have the baby, to pray, to have faith, not to let this get to them, not to go against their faith, not to maintaining the social structure, whatever. All of these things was important. That was their priority. So they're trying to impose what they believe is right, what they believe is true, what they believe is great upon these people, But they're the ones living with this danger, right? Like if you have that baby, might be the last baby you have, and you might die, and the baby might die. So that is a particular type of hell to be living in. You want to do what's right. No, you want to fulfill your role as a married couple under the church, under your faith, respect your family, all of these things. You're listening to your parents, even though you're married and you're adults. You're letting these people govern over you because you want to live a righteous, straight, and narrow life. But at the cost of what? Constantly living in fear that this next pregnancy might be the last one, might be the end. And that was a very hard situation for them. And I remember that the husband came and talked to me. And I was like, look, man, you have to decide what's more important to you. Now, do you believe that God is forgiving? Yeah. Okay. Do you think he'll forgive you if you guys decide not to have any more babies? Because what's the point of you having babies if the mother dies and now you got to raise these kids by yourself? Just to live up to these social standards. Now, you decide what you want to do. But that's how I see it. Now, if you believe in a forgiving God, then I would pray for forgiveness. I would ask for forgiveness now and stop having babies. No, do what tie your tubes. Do get a vasectomy. Do whatever you need to do. Use protection. Use the pill. Whatever. Because every time your wife gets pregnant, that's almost like a death sentence for her. So what do you want to do? Talk about it with your wife. I cannot tell you what to do. I can only tell you to think about it. And I'm going to give you my point of view as to what I think is more important. To me, what's more important is your wife's life, is your children's life. It's that you're a family and you got to make these decisions on your own and stop letting other people decide for you. But you don't have to take my word for it. Pray. And they ended up, not, she ended up getting her, because she had to have a cesarean. And it was in that she got the cesarean that she ended up tying her tubes, and he also decided to get a vasectomy. And their parents were mad. His parents were upset. They were upset. They're like, "Oh, we can't believe you don't have faith. We can't believe that you took this way out." And they didn't talk to him for about 2-3 years. So when I mean by good intentions, or the road to hell is paved with good intentions, is that sometimes we don't understand that what we think is right, what we may view as right, what may not necessarily work for somebody else. And we have to respect that. All we can do is give suggestions. That's it. That's all we can do is like, look, I would do it this way based on this. But you decide. That's how I give advice. Now, this is what I would do because of this and this. I suggest you do this, but it's up to you. All I can do is suggest based on what you're telling me. I'm judging from what I understand, from what I know, but you know what's best. You know what's best, right? So good luck to you. I hope it turns out. Let's see, Shankopotamus. Hey, shout out to you, Shankopotamus. Nice to see you. That's right, E. Mateo, Oxnard, E. Mateo, Egypt, Frank, Small, Sooners, Ramiro, Chris, Matt. That's right, Shankopotamus. Shanks is in the house, Mr. Oxnard, Shankopotamus. Hey, what's up? 2 times. What's up, Frank and Chat? Chilling, bro. We're over here talking papas. Frank Tika's dropping on us talking papas on a well-meaning Wednesday. And sometimes we are that way. We're well-meaning and we want to impose our point of view on someone. We want to, we want to think for them. We want to live our life for them, especially if you're parents. Especially parents. Like parents want to live, like want to mold their kids like the way they want to mold them. No, you're going to be this. Nah, man, you can't do that. Yes, they're your children because you got to care for them and they came from your loins, you know? But as far, but they are human beings. They have their own mind and they're going to live their own life. All we can do for our children is give advice, guide them, instruct them. That's it. That's it. And trust that what we're giving them is going to be good enough for them to start their life because they've got a whole lot of learning on their own to do. And you guys know that. All of those of us that are old enough to have lived through some shit, we've learned a lot of shit as adults that we didn't know as kids. Maybe he was afraid of the Shumrin. Maybe. I mean, a lot of times people are afraid of, like, they're more afraid of, like, the afterlife consequences than they are of whatever is an issue here. And I think that that's a mistake. That's why I'm not in the church. That's why I decided to walk away from organized religion because I don't believe in that. And even Jesus says it. He says, "Man, you guys will travel thousands of miles to convert someone, and you make them twice the son of the devil that you are." Because you know what happens in situations like this is that a lot of times people take drastic steps. A lot of times people take drastic steps when they're forced to live a certain way. And when they come to realize, wait a minute, I don't fit within the parameters of what people are trying to tell me of how to live and what to do. That's why I don't accept people like trying to tell me what to do at all. I don't accept it. I can listen to you. You can give me a suggestion. You can, tell me, like, for example, right now, Imateo, hey, appreciate you. Because that's a better word. And miscarriage is a much better word. It's the actual word that I should have used. I said abort. Right? So that is cool. And that, because I know it comes from a place of love, it comes from a place of care. But as far as like trying to impose your point of view on me, it's like I'll entertain it, but don't try to impose it on me because you don't know what I'm going through, just like I don't know what you're going through. I can only guess. Now, if we talk about it, even then, I can only tell you what I would do under your circumstances, but even then, I don't know 100% if it's right or wrong. All I can do is suggest. That's right. Let's see. I heard that through the grapevine, the Joker got a strike on his channel. Is that true? I don't know, bro. I don't know if it's true. I don't know. Look, I'll tell you one thing. The video I put on my about his live, like the video that I made around his live, got heavily restricted. So I don't know why his would not be if he's the one that's putting shit out there. I don't know. What's up 2 times? What's up 2 times? That's right. Would it doubt it 2 times? I was referring to those Hasidic Jew family and force. Yeah, well, before that we had the. Well, you also had the Spanish Inquisition. So, yeah, probably, bro, probably. It happens. Let's see. One strike. It hasn't come up yet on my screen. All right. See, one strike. He shot three. He had three, and then he got let loose. All right. So I hope you guys understood a little bit. I wanted to give you a bit of a preface as to what it is that I wanted to talk about today. A lot of times we're well meaning, a lot of times people are well meaning. They'll give you advice. They'll try to kind of even like manipulate you and gaslight you into taking their advice and to do like they'll try to use scare tactics. Oh, if you don't do this, this is going to happen. Like try to manipulate your ass to accept their advice and just to apply it. I don't do that. Or people will come and tell you, oh, you know what? So and so did this and they said this about you. Whoa. Oh, really? Okay, well, let me find out first. Let me go and see, and if it's true, I'll take care of it. And if it's not, I won't. But just because you're telling me, you're not going to see me running out like, oh, you're talking shit. So and so told me you're talking shit. No, I'm not. You miss me with that. I'll take my time, straight up, because what we need to be careful of, chat. When we need to be careful of, brothers and sisters, is being pumped up, like pumped into an action, like me being made to act without knowledge, being made to act upon impulse. Just because we feel a certain way, we go out there and we do some stupid shit, come to find out that we were misinformed. The whole situation with Chill, between Chill, Gunners, and fucking Ratas, between Chill, Skittles, and Ratas, was that. That's what happened. Chill dropped the video where he was saying, I don't agree with Dubs on something, but it was just like a prison politic type shit. He was not disrespectful at all. But Ratas and Skittles were drunk on a live, and someone went in their comment section on the chat and said, "Oh, Chill just dropped the video on you." That's all it said. That's all the chat said. And they started going, "Oh, I can't believe that guy. What? He dropped the video. You know what? If that fool dropped the video on me, I'm gonna say this, man. Fuck that bitch." And they just started going off. So if I'm seeing that, what makes you think that when you guys put shit out here that I'm just gonna react? Oh, I'm just gonna run. No, I'm not gonna run with shit. I'm not gonna run with anyone's narratives. I'm not gonna let you guys put that on me. And that is my message to you guys today. My message to you guys today is, do not be moved to act on impulse by what someone else is saying. Take your time. Sit back and observe. Find out. Do your research. Ask the right questions. And then move accordingly. Don't let people come and impose their shit on you. Sometimes they're afraid. Like, look, I'm going to tell you something. Sometimes people will use you as their torpedo. Like, they're going to come and get all in your ear, like, heat you up, get you mad, get you upset. They're going to wind they're going to wind you up and let you loose on who they want to target, but they don't have the balls to do it, but they know you do. Do not give people that power. Do not give people the power to turn you into their torpedo. Don't do it. Like, all of a sudden you're mad at this person because someone's talking to you and telling you things like, wait, why am I even angry at this person? I don't even really know. But like, all the interactions I've had with this person have been pretty chill. Like, why would I now be mad at this person? Now we can be friends. Like, so, and this is the thing. If your friend has an enemy or a foe, you're obviously not gonna entertain that person, right? We understand that, especially if you understand what the problem is between those two people, between your friend and this other person. But if your friend is telling you something about someone that you know that doesn't make sense, like, oh, they're this, they're that, like, wait a minute. I mean, you could be my friend, but don't lie to me. Because if that was your friend isn't going to try to lie to you. They're not going to manipulate you so that you can hate someone just because they hate them. Nah, we don't do that shit, and we have to understand that. That's why when people, even here, when people rock with certain people that don't like me, I'm just like, I don't care. It's like, all right, whatever. I'm not going to try to make you choose. You got to choose me. Nah, man, come on. We're adults. We're adults. And I'm not going to impose my thoughts, my prerogative on you and make you try to hate someone just because they're hating on me. No, no, no. Like I always say, and I always tell people, look, the issue is what it is. All you got to do is relax, sit back, and observe. But don't impose these things on other people, and don't try to impose them on me, straight up. So this could be applied in so many different aspects of our lives. But you have to know who you are. You have to know what's good for you. And it's always good to listen to other people's ideas and see if they work for you and adapt them. That is a good thing. That's the good thing about creating communities. We all don't have to be the same. We don't have to be the same. We don't have to think the same. But because we're different, we're strong. And that's what makes us the revolution that we are. Frank Dika's dropping nice Talkin Papas live on a well-meaning Wednesday. So sometimes people can be well-meaning. Like, I don't blame you for seeing things a certain way. Like, I don't take it bad, but I just won't accept it in my life because it doesn't work for me. Plain and simple. Maybe your advice is something that maybe I've already tried, so it doesn't work. So I'm not going to take it because I've already tried it. Shit happens like that too. No? But let me go ahead and play this video. Okay, now it's 12 minutes long. And I wanted to share it with you guys because I think that in the end, we need to understand certain things, right? Because, sometimes these dudes, like they try to get us that we have a mission statement and they try to dictate how we move, how we talk, what we say, what we do, that we follow these fools or not. They call us obsessed, whatever. Man, you know what? Fuck all of you and your narrative. Straight up. We are the exposed soup revolution. We're not going to stop. Straight up. Shout out to ET. Shout out to Ladies of Exposed Tube. Shout out to Taco Sting. Shout out to Hangman Stranger. Shout out to Sooners, Terps, Ghost, Little White Ferret, Runner's Pug, Mimi. Everybody out there putting their content. Let me go ahead and share this with you guys. I'm going to play it. Okay, I'm going to play it all the way through. I promise not to pause it. All right, so let's go ahead. Now, this is Alan Watts, and it's called The Road to Hell is Paved with Good Intentions. Okay? So let's go ahead. Let's get it.
You see, the reason you want to be better is the reason why you aren't. We aren't better because we want to be. Because the road to hell is paved with good intentions. Because all the do-gooders in the world, whether they're doing good for others or doing it for themselves, are troublemakers. On the basis of kindly let me help you or you'll drown, said the monkey, putting the fish safely up a tree. We white Anglo-Saxon Protestants, British, German, American, have been on a rampage for the past 100 or more years to improve the world. We have given the benefits of our culture, our religion, our technology to everybody, except perhaps the Australian Aborigines. And we have insisted that they receive the benefits of our culture, even our political styles, our democracy. You better be democratic, or we'll shoot you. And having conferred these blessings all over the place, we wonder why everybody hates us. See, because sometimes doing good to others, and even doing good to oneself, is amazingly destructive. Because it's full of conceit. How do you know what's good for other people? How do you know what's good for you? If you say you want to improve, then you ought to know what's good for you. But obviously you don't. Because if you did, you would be improved. So we don't know. It's like the problem of geneticists, which they face today. I went to a meeting of geneticists not so long ago where they gathered in a group of philosophers and theologians and said, now look here, we need help. We now are on the verge of figuring out how to breed any kind of human character we would want to have. We can give you saints, philosophers, scientists, great politicians, anything you want. Just tell us, what kind of human beings ought we to breed? So I said, how will those of us who are genetically unregenerate make up our minds what genetically generate people might be? Because I'm afraid very much that our selection of virtues may not work. It may be like, for example, this new kind of high-yield grain which is made and which is becoming ecologically destructive. When we interfere with the processes of nature and breed efficient plants and efficient animals, there's always some way in which we have to pay for it. And I can well see that eugenically produced human beings might be dreadful. We could have a plague of virtuous people. Do you realize that? Any animal considered in itself is virtuous. It does its thing. But in crowds, they're awful. Like a crowd of ants or locusts on the rampage. They're all perfectly good animals, but there's just too much. I could imagine a perfectly pestiferous mass of 1,000,000 saints. So I said to these people, look, there's the only thing you can do. Just be sure that a vast variety of human beings is maintained. Don't please breed us down to a few excellent types. Excellent for what? We never know how circumstances are going to change and how our need for different kinds of people changes. At one time we may need very individualistic and aggressive people. At another time we may need very cooperative, team-working people. At another time we may need people who are full of interest in dexterous manipulation of the external world. At another time we may need people who explore into their own psychology and are introspective. There is no knowing. But the more varieties and the more skills we have, obviously, the better. So you see, here again, the problem comes out in genetics. We do not really know how to interfere with the way the world is. The way the world actually is an enormously complex, interrelated organism. The same problem arises in medicine because the body is a very complexly interrelated organism. And if you look at the body in a superficial way, you may see there's something wrong with it. Here's chickenpox. And there's spots that itch that come out all over the place. Well, you might say, well, spots are there, cut them off. So you kill the bug. Well, then you find you've got real problems. Because you had to introduce some bugs to kill the bug. It's like bringing rabbits into Australia. And that starts going all over the place and getting out of hand. Well, then you think, well, now wait a minute. It wasn't the bugs in the blood. There are bugs all over the place. What was wrong with this person that his blood system suddenly became vulnerable to those particular bugs? His resistance wasn't up. Therefore, what you should have given him was not an antibiotic, but vitamins. Okay, so we're going to build up his resistance. But resistance to what? I mean, you may build up resistance to this and this and this class of bugs, but then there's another one that loves that situation and comes right in. See, we always look at the human being medically in bits and pieces because we have heart specialists, lung specialists, bone specialists, nerve specialists, and so on. And they each see the human being from their point of view. There are a few generalists, but they realize the human body is so complicated that no one mind can understand it. And furthermore, supposing we do succeed in healing all these people of their diseases, what do we then do about the population problem? I mean, we've stopped cholera, the black bubonic plague, we're getting the better of tuberculosis, we may fix cancer and heart disease. Then what will people die of? Well, then let's go on living. There'll be enormous quantities of us. Then we have to fix this birth thing. Pills for everybody. Then we find, what are the effects, the side effects of those pills? What are the psychological effects upon men and women of not breeding children in the usual way? We don't know. And what seems a good thing today, or yesterday, like DDT, turns out tomorrow to have been a disaster. What seemed in the moral and spiritual sphere too, like great virtues in times past, are easily seen today as hideous evils. Let's take, for example, the Inquisition. In its own day, among Catholics, the Holy Inquisition was regarded as we today regard the practice of psychiatry. You see, you feel that in curing a person of cancer, almost anything is justified. the most complex operations, the most weird surgery. People suspended for days and days on the end of tubes with X-ray penetration, burning. Or people undergoing shock treatment, people locked in the colorless, monotonous corridors of mental institutions. In all good faith, they knew that witchcraft and heresy were terrible things, awful plagues, imperiling people's souls forever and ever. So any means were justified to cure people of heresy. We don't change. We're doing the same thing today, but under different names. We can look back at those people and see how evil that was, but we can't see it in ourselves. So therefore, beware of virtue. Lao Tzu, the Chinese philosopher, said, the highest virtue is not virtue, and therefore really is virtue. But inferior virtue cannot let go of being virtuous, and therefore is not virtue. Translated in more of a periphrastic way, the highest virtue is not conscious of itself as virtue, and therefore really is virtue. Lower virtue is so self-conscious that it's not virtue. In other words, when you breathe, you don't congratulate yourself on being virtuous. But breathing is a great virtue. It's living. When you come out with beautiful eyes, blue or brown or green as the case may be, you don't congratulate yourself for having grown one of the most fabulous jewels on earth. So it's just eyes. And you don't account it a virtue. To see, to entertain the miracles of color and form. You say, oh, that's just... But that's real virtue. Virtue in the sense, the old sense of the word, a strength, as when we talk about the healing virtue of a plant. That's real virtue. But the other virtues are stuck on. They're ersatz, they're imitation virtues. And they usually create trouble. Because more diabolical things are done in the name of righteousness. And be assured that everybody of whatever nationality or political frame of mind or religion always goes to war with a sense of complete rightness. The other side is the devil. Our opponents, whether in China or Russia or Vietnam, have the same feeling of righteousness about what they're doing as we have on our side. And a plague on both houses, because, as Confucius said, the goody-goodies are the thieves of virtue, which is the form of our own proverb. The road to hell is paved with good intentions.
All right, all right, all right. So that was Alan Watts. The road to hell is paved with good intentions. You know, we were thinking I was talking with my family the other day because, during the whole COVID thing, my parents in the States, we're all in communication, right? And they're like, man, we got to get the shot. If not, I can't work. Like a lot of people had to make tough decisions. And we don't know until years later if the right decisions were made. But at that moment in time, you had to decide, are you going to get the shot or not? And if you get the shot, are you going to get the next and the third and the fourth? Like, what's your limit going to be? I think everybody had to decide at that moment what was best for them. Now, some people passed away. There were complications. A lot of people died, obviously. We saw that. And because of that, a lot of people chose to get the shot. And yet there were many others that chose not to. Who's right? Who's wrong? Hey, man, everybody decided what was best for them. That's why if you saw in this video, I said, what's good for you? You need to know what's good for you. If it's good for you, that's it. But just because it's good for you doesn't mean that it's good for someone else. If you decided to get the shot, that's on you. If someone else didn't get the shot, hey, man, let them be. That's what was good for them. That's why it's so important when we come out here and when we do these things that we understand what it is that we're talking about, what it is that we're standing up for. No, we're not going to be able to change people's minds. We're not going to be able to change whole lives around. It's going to take one by one. Sometimes people will join and will be like, okay, I like their get down. They're all different. They all have different points of views, and that's enough for me. Let's see. My job requires both flu and COVID shots every year. Yeah, see, and that is your decision to make. Like if you decided that that's a good job and that you're willing to do that to keep the job, more power to you. There might be people that think that you're not doing the right thing, but why? I mean, if that's what's good for you, if that's what's right for you, that's what's right for you. It's like people that choose to go to the armed forces. I personally wouldn't do it. I was offered to, and I said, "No, I'm not. That's not for me." But maybe for other people, that is virtuous. You know, hey man, we cannot impose our beliefs and our thoughts on anybody. Hey, what's up, Mimi Ramirez? Hey, chat. Hey, Frank. Hey, shout out to you, ladies of explosive, Ms. Yaya. Shout out to Mr. Blue. Shout out to Mr. Oxnard. Hey, thank you so much for stopping by. We've got 16 people watching. If you haven't hit the like, please do so. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. So when I see, for example, we're going to continue doing what we do. Like, don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. We're going to continue doing what we do. There's virtue in exposing these creeps. There's virtue in it. I believe it. We all believe it. That's why we do what we do. But we don't expect to convince others. Like, if you are convinced that what we do is not right, whatever, that's on you. But you do what you got to do. But we're going to continue to do what we do because we've decided that this is something that's good to do. We've decided this is good. For us, it's good. And because it's good, and because we believe it to be good, we're going to continue doing it to the best of our abilities. Every single day, nonstop, till the wheels fall off. Straight up. What's up, Mr. Oxnard? Mimi Ramirez, that's right. Oakland, that's right, Mimi. Now, what I want you to take from this video and from this conversation is the fact that we cannot go through life trying to judge what we think other people should do and shouldn't do. How they should dress, how they shouldn't dress, how they should speak, how they shouldn't speak. If you don't like it, if you don't agree with it, just don't talk to that person. Have no interactions with that person. That's it. But don't try to force other people to look at this person the way that you do. Because maybe to me, this person is real. Maybe to me, this person brings value. Maybe they bring something that I was not aware of. And that matters to me. Maybe it doesn't matter to you, but it matters to me. Why can't you respect it? That's all I'm saying. And I think that if we see the world that way, it's a lot easier to accept certain shit. And to be, to not get so scandalized by shit, by differences. Straight up. Terps, buenas tardes, saludos y respeto. Shout out to you, bro. I got 16 people in here. If you haven't hit the like, please do so. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. No, I'm on my way trying to get to 1,000. I need to get 600 first. I'm almost there. Thanks so much for all of the people that have subscribed to my channel, that watch, that support. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We're going to keep doing this every day. Frank Ftdk's dropping nice Talkin Papas live on a well-meaning Wednesday. Most situations will have their, the goody two shoes, and I know that a lot of people probably think that I am a goody two shoes. No, I'm not. I don't come out here acting as though I'm better than anybody. But what I do believe and what I do think and what I can attest to is that a lot of the things that I point out are things that I had to work on as well. Like, you cannot recognize something in someone unless you recognize it in yourself first. That's what it is. Like, if you're able to see things in people and you call them out, it's probably because you see them in yourself. Straight up. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not disrespectful with that. That's just psychology. It is what it is. That's right, Mimi. So when I say this fool is lying, I can recognize that he's lying because I've lied. Now, I've lied. Do I lie? I'm sure that there are times in which I don't say the complete truth. And that's a lie within itself. But do I purposely lie for the sake of lying and lie? No, I don't. But I know that I might lie every now and then. I think we all do. I think we all lie every now and then. Maybe to soften the blow of something, or maybe to conceal something a little while longer that we know we're not going to be able to conceal for very much longer. But I'm just not going to put any light on it to avoid people talking about it until I'm ready to talk about it. Then I'll talk to you. Then I'll tell you, you know what? Yeah, this is what I think, blah, 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 blah. I didn't want to say anything earlier because of this. I'm trying to control this. I didn't want this to happen. But now that it's out in the open, yeah, this is what I think. Yeah, whatever. It is what it is. We're not always going to put ourselves out there all the time. Like, being transparent does not mean I'm going to share every single fucking thought, every single fucking plan, every single little thing with you. I'm not. And I may love you, but some things are for me. I have to know what's good for me first. That's what I want you guys to take away from this. You need to figure out what's good for you and worry about that. Worry about it being good for you. Don't try to impose this thing that you think is good onto somebody else because it may not be good for me. Now, if someone comes and tells you, or someone comes and asks for your opinion or for some advice, that is the opportunity that you have to be like, look, this is what I think, this is how I see it, blah, blah, blah. And even at the end of that, you should be able to say, like I always say, but don't take my word for it. This is my point of view. This is my opinion. You got to do what you think is right. And that's it. Because that's all you can do. And we should respect our differences because those differences of lived experiences of who we are what make us strong. Like, for example, I just saw this right here. Let me read this. The irrelevant one said, I first discovered the teachings of Alan Watts on an LSD trip, and it started a fundamental change in my thinking and behavior. It says, keep dropping that knowledge, Frank. Now, I thank you, the irreverent one, for that comment. You've let me know a little bit about you, right? Thank you so much. I respect that, and I cherish that. I honor that. And I appreciate the fact that you shared this with us. Now, maybe to someone else, what he just put here is like, what? LSD trip? Isn't that the devil's work? And we'll try to blow it off as though this experience was not meaningful just because it's not something that they approve of. You see, and that's pretty much how shit goes. Like, all of a sudden, someone's going to be like, oh, look at this. You know? And that is what we need to that's what we need to stay away from. We need to stay away from placing judgment on shit that we don't understand before doing the research. Now, if you don't like it, you don't have to like it. If it's not harmful, why even fuck with it? Now, if it's harmful, if it's something harmful, yeah, then you take action, which is why we do what we do. Because we see this as harmful, we do what we do. Shout out to Exposed Tube. Shout out to ladies of Exposed Tube. Shout out to Turbs. Shout out to Sooner. Shout out to Gunner. for being an idiot. Because now you got us over here watching what you do and being able to say, you fucked up. You're a fuck up. You and fucking ratas are both fuck ups. Hey, but continue doing what you do because you think it's right. See, this is what I'm talking about. They think that how they live is right. And it doesn't matter how many times we put them on blast, they're not going to stop because they think they're right. They continue to justify it. So, as long as that continues, we're going to continue doing what we do. So, thank you for being so fucking hard headed. That's right, Terps, Egyptian. That's right. Let me see. Justin Lang. Hey, shout out to you, Justin Lang. Alan Watts will open your mind with or without. Yeah, I agree. Because I'm not on LSD. But I can see the correlation. Like I can see how like being on a trip to because most people that do like those LSD trips are usually like on a self discovery type trip. So then if you're like on that trip and you discover this type of literature and talks, I can see how that can have an impact. Yeah, I can see that most definitely. But I respect your point of view too, and that's the beauty of it. That we can agree that Alan Watts is good material. It's good shit to trip out on, whether you're on LSD or not. But it's a good thing. That's why I'm going to share more of Alan Watts on other conversations. Whenever we need to get into these types of conversations, I might recur to Alan Watts and share it with you, and we'll talk about it. But see, what I want you guys to understand is this: like, look, Justin Lang, that's his point of view. He's like, look, it's good with or without LSD. All right, cool. And I accept it and I respect it. And shout out to you. Thank you so much for your comment. Let's see. Gun for discovery. Cheeto. He's a Cheeto. I wonder if he went on an LSD trip to discover that. Oh, wow. Frank Tico's dropping noise talking papas. We're over here talking papas live. On a well-meaning Wednesday, look, you may be and you may have someone's best interest in mind, but don't impose anything on anyone unless, once again, and I've always said this and I'm going to say it again, unless these people are about to harm themselves or about to do something dangerous, sometimes you need to take action, and you may interfere with what they're thinking, what their thought process is, and just take control. Sometimes you have to do that. You know? That's the only time that I can tell you, hey, look, if you know that that person is going to harm themselves, like they're announcing it, then yeah, I mean, you might have to take action against their will. Like that's the only time that I can respect it, you know? But other than that, like you guys, like we saw, right? We saw a video on what the last live, the live that I did early, one of the lives that I've done recently, where we saw what fucking Skittles did with SA Rex. Like, see, that is wrong. Like, there's no justification for what he did. And I think that everybody that saw that agreed to it. From whatever point of view, like, all of us come from different walks of life, but we were able to see that shit and say, oh, that's wrong. That's unacceptable. That's despicable. That's malicious. Enough of us have that same, like, point of view to see that as wrong. And therefore, in that majority consensus, we can say, Skittles, you're a piece of shit. Straight up. But I know that even if we put you out there, even if we do these videos, even if we do these lives and we put you on blast, because you believe you're doing the right thing, because your only objective is to make money and to scam people, you're going to continue doing what you do. And therefore, because we believe that what we do is righteous and good, we're going to do what we do. Straight up, nonstop. Frank Tika dropping knowledge, talking Papa's Live. Well-meaning Wednesday. Now, this is where we have to check ourselves, though. Like, you have to check yourself and understand that you cannot be passing judgment on people just because they sin different than you. No, we want to regulate other people and not regulate ourselves. Mr. The Reverend, I appreciate your understanding, Frank. I wasn't trying to promote stuff like that, just expressing my personal journey. Yeah, no, don't worry, man. Look, All of my lives, every video that I put out there, I always put that it's not safe for kids because we're going to have these conversations. So don't worry about it. Hey, look, I don't promote it, but I'm not going to say that it's bad to, because I think that everyone's experience is different. And I think that there are some benefits in doing certain types of explorations. You know what I mean? Hey, I'm not going to be a hypocrite about it. I think that there are times in which it's okay. I think that there are good uses and scientifically proven as to using, you know, mind altering substances to achieve certain purposes. I'm not going to knock it. I'm not going to talk shit about it. To each his own. And see, that's the whole point. If you felt that that was beneficial to you, hey, more power to you. For me, what was beneficial to me was, having a certain belief system in place. That's what's helped me. Everybody's going to find some way or another to get through in life. For some people, it's marriage. And maybe for someone else, it's like, wait a minute, why? So you need to be married to be happy? Yeah, let them be happy. Fuck, like what the fuck? Just because you're happy being alone doesn't mean someone else needs to be happy being alone. Or for people to say, oh, you mean to be good, you got to go to church? Well, for that person, if for that person going to church makes them feel that they're doing good and makes them have better decisions and not have a destructive life, let them. And if you don't need it, more power to you. But we can agree that these certain things, like we can agree that certain things within society shouldn't be allowed, regardless of your religion, regardless of your nationality, regardless of the language you decide to speak in, regardless of your currency, regardless of your status. There are certain things that we can all agree on that are bad. For example, scamming those that have mental issues and using them and exploiting them for monetary reasons. I think we can all agree that that is wrong. Unless you're fucking weird and you advocate for that shit. Fuck you too then. But if not, then you can agree that it's wrong to take advantage of the of people that have mental issues, or of children, or of women, or of other men, depending on their situation. Sometimes people are in dire situations, like we saw with SA Racks, and this fool's over here exploiting them and using them for content and putting them on blast. Like, we can all agree that that shit is not acceptable, but in his mind, he justifies it. So for him, that's good. Okay. But what you're doing is you're creating this larger group of people that's moving against you. And that's just how it is. That's just how it is. But let's not try to impose our views, our religion, and all that shit on other people. Look how many wars are started over bullshit like that. That's why I'm not religious. I am spiritual. I believe in God. I have my belief system, but I do not judge others, because first and foremost, I need to know that I'm doing good. I need to know that I'm living up to these standards that I've set for myself. I don't have time to check and see if you're living by my standards. Like, why would I care? I only care about, you know, like in that sense, obviously I raised my kids a certain way. My wife and we believe very similarly. But even then, I can't impose these things on my children. I can only tell them what I think. That's it. Because they're humans, they're different, they're people. But I found that through that respect, I've been able to build a lot better relationships, a lot more transparent relationships. Because if I'm not judging you, I'm judging me first. How can I judge you? Why would I want to judge you? Unless you come out here and do all of the bullshit that these motherfuckers do. Straight up. And then I'm going to fucking judge you. because you're out here talking about, oh, this is good. This is for la raza. This is for la barrio. I never lived this life, man, bitch. Yeah, but you're out here scamming, lying, talking shit, making death threats, and all of that. None of that is acceptable. None of it. It is what it is. I don't know if any of you have any questions. I don't know what your opinion is. I don't know if you have a difference of opinion. You could voice it. You could put it on the chat. You could jump on. But if not, I'm about to wrap it up. I'm about to wrap it up. I just don't want us to get caught up in the bullshit. So we got to be very careful about how we judge others as well. Like, remember, what's good for you does not necessarily mean it's good for somebody else, right? Like I told you guys, there are like a group of people that live in Tibet that have a diet that would kill any one of us down here because of the high cholesterol levels. But in their region where they live, that's how they have to eat. You're not going to go over there and tell them, no, wait a minute, you got to cut down. You got to cut down on the cholesterol because that's what's keeping them alive. Only because for you, it's wrong. They shouldn't eat that way. They need more vegetables. No. If you are against people telling you what to do, make sure you're not one of those people. If you're against people imposing their beliefs on you, don't be one of those people. You may have strong beliefs. You may be a very religious person. You may be extremely patriotic. You may be one of those people that, respect the blue line and all of that. More power to you. But respect me if I'm not that way. I'm not going to insult you. I'm not going to disrespect you. And we can still agree on a lot of other things. But in certain things, we may not. And it's okay. You know? I wouldn't feel good sending my kids off to war. But maybe you feel that that is something that, every person should do. Maybe in your belief system, there's pride, there's honor in that. All right, well, more power to you if that's what you want to do. But don't come and tell me, hey, how come you don't send your kids to? Because that's not my prerogative. If you feel that it's patriotic to pledge allegiance to the flag, and you want to do that, and hey, you wouldn't kneel down, you wouldn't kneel when these play the national anthem. You respect all of that symbology. Hey, man, more power to you. You do that. But if someone decides to bow, that's on them. Like, why does it matter? What does that take away from how you live? Doesn't take away from anybody. Just like it doesn't take away from me that you may be on the opposite side of the political spectrum, but as long as you and I can chop it up and agree on a lot of other things and get down and have a good time and be open about it and be helpful with each other, why should everything else matter? Why should those other things matter more than those that can make us a community, that can make us strong, that can allow us to live respectfully with each other? I choose that. And that's what I want to continue to put out there. And I will continue to do so. Will we continue to put these idiots, the debauchery on blast? Hell yeah, we will. That's right. Shout out to ET. Shout out to Ladies of Exposed Tube. Shout out to everybody, man, that does their part. I truly appreciate everyone that's watching. I got 21 people in here. If you haven't hit the like, please do so. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I just wanted to come out here. I drop content every day. Today I didn't drop a short or a video, but I did want to come out, talk to you live. I did do a live last night, so I kind of feel like, hey, man, look, I did 2 lives and I dropped a short. Hey, I could just do 1 live today. But I'm already thinking about dropping something, maybe a video, but probably not until tomorrow. I'm my own competition. I hope everybody does well as long as their channels are promoting good, are promoting unity, are promoting just getting ahead in life, doing the right thing, moving away from a negative past. More power to you. We're going to continue doing what we do. It don't stop. Frank Ticas dropping knowledge, Talkin Papas live on a well-meaning Wednesday. Hey, man, do what you got to do out of your heart. Don't expect other people to succumb to your influence. Like there are people that's like, look, as long if you don't see things the way I do, I can't help you. Oh well, man, fuck your help then, bitch. I never needed it. Straight up. I remember one time I needed support at work. I needed support at work. And there was this really religious IT dude, who used to share Bible verses all the time, man. Really religious. And you guys know I consider myself Christian. That's my belief system. So he comes, I'm like, hey, dude, hey, listen, man, I got an issue with my laptop, bro. And we got to talking. He's like, you're Christian? I'm like, yeah. He's like, what do you think about this? I'm like, oh, well, and I didn't agree with his point of view. He's like, what? You don't agree with it? No. I'm like, no. What? And he had a problem with me after that. And when I needed help on my laptop, he left me towards the very end. What's up, Ramiro? Shout out to you, man. Mr. Oxnard, that's right, Terps, Ramiro. Like, he became, like, I was his enemy now because I did not agree to what he was saying. And he used it, he weaponized it at work. I'm like, what? There's going to be people at work that weaponize their belief system because they don't agree with something that you said, they don't agree with how you dress, and they're going to try to find a way of fucking with you. Straight up. Don't let that shit get to you. Don't let other people impose their religion, their points of view, their belief system on you, man. Fuck all that. They got to respect. But you also have to be able to respect others as well. It is what it is. You get what you take, right? You give what you take what you give. Hey, shout out to you, Moni. Hey, Moni's in the house. Nice to see you. We're waiting. Hopefully, we're gonna get them episodes in. That's right, Ramiro. Moni. Buenas tardes. That's right, Terps. Terps. That's right, Mr. Oxnard. Yeah, man. The road to hell is paved with good intentions. Now, on this well-meaning Wednesday, understand this. You may have the best intentions, but what's good for you is not necessarily good for someone else. Let people decide what's best for them. Now, if they come and ask you, and they ask you for your opinion, or they ask for advice, or they ask you for help, then they kind of open the door for you to talk to them and give them your point of view. But until then, if no one's asking you, like, why even fucking bring it up? Unless it's a conversation, right? Like you're having a conversation. Oh, well, this is what I think. This is my belief system. Oh, really? All right. That's cool. But I don't need you to tell me how your belief system is better than mine, and how by doing it the way you would do it, I would succeed. Maybe it wouldn't work for me. You can suggest it. You can give some advice. You can give your opinion, but don't think that I'm just going to automatically do what you're telling me because it might not work for me. Maybe my situation is just one fraction of an inch different than yours, but that one fraction of an inch makes it to where it doesn't fit. You're not in my shoes. That's right. All right, man. We're going to close here. We're going to go and chill. I'm going to go kick back for a little bit. Wait until ET goes live. I'll catch you guys there. Continue supporting ET, Ladies of Exposed Tube. Continue supporting Katie Frizzle, Taco Stain, Hangman Stranger, Chirp, Sooners, Mimi, and Blue and their channel, as well as Runner's Pug and Little White Ferret. We're all out here trying to do what we do. It don't stop. Shout out to Moni. Moni's going to be doing them true crimes with the Exposed Tube Revolution. Man, it don't stop. It don't stop. We do what we do. Frank Ticas dropping knowledge, little bit of a message, little bit of knowledge. I hope you guys had, a good live with me tonight. Hope you enjoyed the message. We'll continue tomorrow. Catch you guys in the live with ET on the chat. I'm about to tune out. And like I always say, around this time, until next time,